Morning guys, it's Thursday and this is where I bought these panels from, called Classic 2, I believe. C2, yeah, classic2fabrication.com. So if you want to check them out, the body panels I have look to be pretty good. They're not bad looking. The one, and I'll show them to you, I took the two of them out. The one for the rear is that one there. That one looks a little bit, well, how can I say, maybe a little bit cheaper than the front one. But the front panel, which is right here, let me put the light on here.
You want something hot or cold?
I don't care, just something small.
Well, I was thinking like a hot dog.
No. Okay, so this is what the panel looks like that came for the front, and it looks pretty nice. I just set it in there. You can see I got a fool with the emergency cable on this side, and it should fit in there. Now there's these brackets that are braces going down here. I'm not sure what the story with that is, if I have to take the metal completely out of there or not, but it's got a nice shape to it. It seems to be, you know, heavy enough to do what it's supposed to do, and there's plenty of side panel there to be able to weld to. So anyway, I don't want to put the panel in until the girl comes who owns the truck, because she wants to do some of the work, and I want her to do it so she knows how to do it on the other side if she has to. But anyway, that's what it looks like, and I think it looks good. It looks like a really nice panel. So just try to get it to fit nice. Okay guys, so one thing nice about having the panel is that I know what I can do here and not lose out on. So I can cut like all the way along that top if I want to, and all the way along this edge at this point. And that's what I want to get cleaned up, the top and this edge, so that I can go ahead and get that floor pan into place. So I'm going to work on that next. You can see where this comes in here and then goes down onto this edge, so all that can come out of there. So if you look at this body panel here, you can see this edge here. Okay, so the body panel comes over and then drops down. That's what you've got here. So the body panel comes over to about here and then drops down onto there. That's what this shape is here. You can see that I bent that there. But that's basically that edge going down. So that's what we have to do, or this is the edge going down. This would have been turned like that. So this is what has to come out of there. And the good thing is that the rust hasn't affected the outer panel, the outside panel. So we should be able to get that all out of there in a little bit, with a little bit of effort. All this has to come out. Now just so you know, all I'm doing here, this was all metal here before, all I'm doing is cutting some slices into it and then trying to tear it off the best I can. Now you can see where, let's see, there's some holes here, but they had been repaired from there's like a frame here in the front, so they're kind of hiding that. So we might be able to tack those closed as we go. But we need to get this off here. Now somebody welded this really badly onto here, and we need to try and get that weld out of there. So I'm going to use a grinder to try and cut that off of there with a flat disc in it. Alright, so the bottom of this bracket coming down here actually came out like this and then was welded to the floor. The problem is that it's so rusted and all that I need to cut it off. I can clean this off up in here then and weld another angle on there and attach the floor to this structure here, because this is actually part of the structure of the side of the cab, this bracket here. So we're just gonna have to keep cutting there and see what we can do, but this is coming real nice in here. This is what we want. One thing I want to say here is you gotta really be careful when you're working here. I haven't cut myself or anything, but I mean, these are the pieces that I'm ripping out of here. They're razor sharp on some of the edges, and you know, they're still steel, so they're hard to tear. But when you cut them, especially on an angle, you end up sharpening the edges. So you need to be careful of this stuff, but we're coming good here. This is looking real nice. I need to get that piece off that goes up towards the dimmer switch. Yeah, and then might be able to fit the panel in there a little bit better, because the downhill part of the panel that runs down can't fit in there just yet, but soon it should be able to. So be careful when you're working with this. I have a couple different things here. I have the grinder, I have this small saw. Not really happy with this saw. I hardly used it. You can see the name things still on there. It doesn't seem to want to stay running. I put oil in it and all kind of stuff. I don't know if the blade's shot already. Maybe it is. But I cut some parts with it. Other than that, I'm cutting with the grinder. But you can only make like little slices at a time and then try and bend the stuff out. Things like this right here, this is going to have to be ground out of here to fit the panel in there better. The one thing you want to be careful here is when you're grinding off the rivets or cutting not the rivets but the spa welds on here, you got to realize that this is only one thickness of metal. Okay, so that's the outside of the truck. So if you go grinding too far, you're going to come right outside. So you got to be careful of that. Now this side here looks pretty good. We're down to where we need to go. I want to fool around in the back here. Let me see what you're seeing. Yeah, right in here. I want to cut this out of here a little bit, and then I'm going to try the panel and just to see how it fits. We're getting there. You can see it from back here. It looks really good. Nice edge there to work with. Just got to get the rust off of it. Okay, if you look here, you can see the panel's pretty far down in there. It's good along this side. That gets caulked. It's touching up in here already against there, and it actually has to go that way a little bit. It's touching over there. It's not touching in here or over on that side. So this back corner here is being held up in the air then because of it. Now you got to be careful how much you cut on this original piece, because this has to slide down there yet. And if you take too much off there, you're liable to not have anything left to work with. So I need to work on that slowly. So I can measure this here to figure how far down it's going to go. And it'll be maybe a little bit more than that here, but then I can tell what I have to cut off here. But it's starting to look pretty good. I like the panel. I like the way it was made. It's not perfect, but then again, neither was the truck when it first was made. So we're just going to have to check out what we're doing here and as we go and see how we can make it fit. But it looks good so far. Okay guys, so from here all the way around, it's not bad. Now it needs to go against the metal there. I can do that. I'm not worried about that. This side is all good. The back here, you know, is high. There's between about 3/8 of an inch on this side, closer to a half on that side. Now the problem with this is that the bottom of the panel is resting on top of the plate that holds the body mounts, like the cab mount, and it can't go down any further. So I'm either going to have to bend this down or cut it off. I'd probably bend it down to give me something to weld to. Like I say, this over here can be pushed against. This is not a big deal here. I just need to get that cleaned off. And even in here, the way I have it cut there, it's not bad. This, I don't really like here. This metal, excuse me, this metal came out here and rounded a little bit better. But this one's not. So I could put a slice up through here to pull this out, but I don't know if I want to do that just yet. But anyway, it's just about quitting time, and I've had it for a day, so I'm going to take Bullseye out for a walk. This is a nice panel. I don't want you to think it isn't. I really I think it's a nice panel. It fits very nice. Now the only thing is there could be a couple different things here. The cab mount frame that comes across is a little deteriorated here and there, so you know, this could be rested down on there further than what it should have been. But got to work with what we have. Like I say, you can see in here there's a little bit like 1/4 of an inch down to the metal, but the bolt and stuff that sticks up right here is already touching this, so this can't go down on that side. So we'll do a couple more little things here to see if we can't get it to fit a little bit better as we go. And since this side is so high here, I think instead of welding this down right away, I'm going to get this other piece put in so that I can see how this end might be. I might be able to put this underneath here and then bring them together, and it won't be near as bad as what it is at the moment. So, and it's not really bad. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that panel's not fitting bad in there all the way around. It's just right here. So, alright guys, well, I hope you had a good day. I enjoyed doing this. Seems to fit good. And tomorrow might be able to get a little bit of welding done. We have to see. This has taken some time getting this hood thing off, or this roll bar off, because I don't know, it's just kind of a pain in the neck there, the way that it comes down and around. I wish they'd have done something different there, but they didn't. So we have to contend with that. Got to get the bolts out on that side next. Alright guys, so I'm going to take Bullseye out, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow. It's a lot better than it was so far. Before we go too far, the one thing I wanted to show you is this. See the circle there, which is that back circle? And it's not far from the bend, but still, the circle's right here, and you can see the bolt comes up here pretty high, and so does this. This is at least 1/4 of an inch here and another 1/4 there, so you're looking at about 1/2 of an inch there. So that's why that's not going down any further. Now I could, you know, cut the bolt off, and it ain't gonna hurt anything for whoever has to put a bolt in later, but I'm not really wanting to do that. I have to see. I'm not done yet. And the other thing is, you can see the brace over here. As I started to work on it, it's a little thin at this end. I think I want to fix that. Same thing with this. This actually comes across here and attaches to the side of the truck. Now there's some underneath here, but there's a lot here missing. I'm not sure of just how much is missing. So I'm going to have to see if I can't take a look somewhere and see if I can see that someplace. But anyway, yeah, it takes a while to do this, and fitting that panel, you know, and finding out what all you got to cut out of here. I'm leaving this little bit of metal in here. It's not really the way it would go, but I have nowhere to fasten the front to, and I'm just laying it on top of that to help me hold that until I get it welded in place. I got to mark where the brace goes. So we probably won't get the panel welded in tomorrow. We're going to have to weld on this and see what we can do here to fix these braces up. And they don't get welded to the frame either. They're just part of the body. So, yeah, like I say, it doesn't look bad. I mean, I got to do some grinding and stuff to clean things up a little bit here, but I'm surprised at how nice the panel fits. That's the good part. See this in here, I'm thinking that this may have to come out of here a little bit in order to fit the panel the way I have it, but this is part of the frame that comes across. I really don't want to cut that out of there, but I can beat that up somehow. So we need to look at this and do some more to it. Alright guys, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Bye.